Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is June 6th, 2016, and we are excited to have you joining us for Les Brown's Motivational Monday Night Call. This call has been part of Mr. Brown's dedication to making sure that he inspires voices of hope. I invite you to stay connected with Mr. Brown on social media, brown.les, that's brown.les. On Facebook. You will also find him at lesbrown.com. That's lesbrown.com for information that he shares in upcoming programs and services. But tonight, I want to especially thank all of the new listeners who received this, heard it, saw it posted, and decided to join. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our faithful tribe that continues to tune in every single week to follow Mr. Brown everywhere he goes. You're inspired by his books, by his words, by his videos. And tonight, I have the privilege of spending a few moments with world-renowned speaker, author, coach, trainer, dad, uncle, friend extraordinaire, my Papa Brown that I love to call him, but he's been such a huge mentor and inspiration in my life, and I get to have him share a few words with you. But let me check the mics and see if Mr. Brown, are you live?
Yes, I am. How are you?
I am great and grateful just hearing your voice. All 32 of my teeth are showing.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful to hear your voice and to be able to spend some time with the people that's on the call. And I want to do an interview with you, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for holding down the fort, for doing the call, for being willing to give of yourself. When I first started the call, it was because I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was giving an inspirational talk to some cancer survivors, and I noticed how much they needed it, as much as I needed it myself. And so they said, will you do this on a regular basis? And I did. And then it began to expand from there. But this time in my life, as this experience has been very different. I'm going to talk tonight about releasing. It's been a long time since you've heard my voice. And your life, Stacy, can change in a minute. Absolutely. 8 weeks ago, I was going through the airport. I've been down to pick something up. And my luggage, which is very light, I got that. Then I felt something in my back. And it was a pain. But then later, I was able to make it to the gate, struggled. But they needed a wheelchair to get me off the plane. And they call it sciatic nerve. I guess that's what it is. So from that time to this time, I've been giving speeches on stage in a wheelchair. At first, I was embarrassed and humiliated. When they would roll me through the airport, I would hold my head down. And then finally, I said, you know what? I'm still here. I might can't get up out this chair right now, but I'm still here. I got my voice. I can still make a difference in people's lives. I don't have to hold my head down. I'm still here. And I've been looking for ways to use my talents that God has given me in different ways at this stage of my life. At 72, they said that's the beginning of a new chapter. My children confronted me after I almost died. You almost lost me, they say. I almost died. And my kids, fortunately, I have wonderful kids who love me.
Yes, they do.
And they came and got me and saved me. And so they asked me, they confronted me, and they asked me to stop speaking. And you know what I did? I broke out and cried like a baby. Please don't. told her, I said, stop. I'll do it part-time, please. This is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've been doing this since 1980. How many vacations have you had? I said, let me think. Save us the time. You know you haven't had any. I said, no, I haven't. Decided, nerd. You've been pushing yourself too much, and you don't have to. Your grandchildren's education is paid for. We're debt-free. We don't need you to do this. You don't need to do it. I said, but this gives me strength. I believe that I'm pleasing God when I speak. Don't take this from me. But the point that they made, that got to release some things. Everything that, we experience in life, it's just for a period of time. Life is about moments. When we're born, our parents raise us and give us the best coaching that they can to help us to learn how to become adults. We choose to go to certain colleges and universities to upgrade our skills, to increase our capacity to earn. And then many of us wing it from there, like myself and the people that are listening. And so I finally got the courage. I met with them and I said, okay, I will release it. I won't speak for a year. And I will focus on my health, my grandchildren. I'm a great-grandfather, Stacy.
You sure are.
I'm a grandfather, and I'm a great-grandfather. I'm with one of them now, and his name is Nigel here in Atlanta. So what I'd like for you to do now, because I had this near-death experience and I've gone through a lot of other things, is ask me whatever questions you like to ask me.
Absolutely. But before we do that, I know today is one of your children's birthday, Ona Brown.
Yeah,
so
today is Ona's birthday, and tomorrow is my granddaughter's birthday.
Wow.
He's Gemini. She wasn't my child. Let me tell you something. I would have her arrested. She and John Leslie, Geminis, can't stand them. Geminis. I got two in my family. They are a trip. Gladys Knight is a Gemini. I'll tell you, act like those Geminis are. Let me tell you, I've dealt with all those personalities.
But I would applaud you, Les, before we get into the conversation, because there's so much to talk about. And your children talking to you out of love to just take a break. And we know that there's some very creative ways in which you can still interact, but just taking a moment to rest, that you have invested so much in saving lives and changing lives and transforming individuals. The very first thing I want to ask you is that as you're going through this process and where you are now and celebrating all that you have come through and moving to a new transition, as you said, releasing, what can you say to me, to all of us that love you, have admired you? What has kept you grounded all these years in sharing your voice?
That is a very good question, and the answer is a very easy answer. My voice. That's what has kept me going. Because when my kids tell me that I should not speak anymore, it's like pouring kryptonite on me. It's like you're gagging me and taking my power away. So when I feel bad, when my mother was suffering from breast cancer, when Boo was waiting on a best friend on a liver transplant, when I was being told no again and again and again in pursuit of generating enough income to buy my mother a home, that I recorded a variety of things. Some I just found that gave me strength. And I noticed as I spoke, I did a series called choosing your future. It's possible. It's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's you. It's hard. It's worth it. It's done. And I noticed the change in my voice, but most importantly, I noticed what was happening to me physically as I listened to my voice and other people listened to it. Keep in mind, in the beginning was the Word. And I was thinking about what is it that I can do with my life that can make my mother proud, that I'm here because of two women. One gave me life, the other one gave me love, that I can make something of myself. I wanted Stacy to make a difference in people's lives. And that's what Mamie Brown wanted. They asked her, what made you think that you can adopt 7 children and raise them? And she said, I just felt the Lord would make a way somehow. I went through that experience. I had a near-death experience. But through the experience, I felt comforted. I felt that God was with me. I felt that I would get through it. Even though I was confused and did not know where I was, even though I was in the hospital for 8 days, surrounded by my children and grandchildren, I did not know who I was. I didn't even know I was in the hospital. And going through all of this, I just got back today, and I've never been this far away from home this long in my entire life. But what I felt, what I was going to get through it, but the tough time was, I've had such pain. I mean, cried like a baby, Stacey. Like, the pain was so intense. And my sons, I remember saying to my son Patrick, the second oldest, I said, you know I wouldn't let anybody do this to you if you were hurting like this. And I couldn't see him, but I knew he heard my voice. I knew he felt for me because he and John Leslie had to bathe me and put me in and out of the bathtub and give me my medications. But so they stopped the procedure. They stopped the procedure. And so in the last few days, I haven't had the pain that I've been experiencing. And I'm going to get some medical treatment, medical assistance. They said there's a hospital in Atlanta and there's another one in Florida that can help me. But to not be able to pick up your body weight, to have to walk with a cane or a wheelchair, can't take 5 steps without excruciating pain. I was looking at what is this, what am I to learn from this? And what I learned from it is, number one, life is unpredictable, and it doesn't discriminate. That bad things happen to good people. They happen. They happen. That's one thing. Life does not discriminate. The other thing that I learned, which I've always lived by, is that life not only is unpredictable, but it is to be used. You want to live your life while you can, because one day you won't be able to. I never anticipated. I'm 72. I never thought my children would have to ever feed me or help bathe me or help me get in and out of a bathtub because I didn't have the physical strength to do it myself. But I'm very fortunate that I have children who love me and who take care of me and who look after me. And now I'm their child. They left me in the room by myself. They never leave me by myself. I was in Vegas. And I happened to wake up in the middle of the night, and they had gone to one of the clubs, I guess, in Vegas. I wasn't hurting as badly. I had just taken a pain pill 20 minutes prior to that. I think it's methadol. It's something. I'll give you the name of it. So anyhow, I had a little scooter that I was riding on in the hotel. and this thing can move. And so I got on, so we moved it in the bedroom, and I was able to maneuver this scooter. Now, mind you, on one leg I can't use because of the pain, but I was able to use that left leg to maneuver and put my body up on that scooter. Then I was able to get it out in the hall. Got out there, the door slammed, I forgot. I'm on the scooter in a T-shirt, my underwear, and just my underwear, and the door slams, and I have no teeth. Okay, so I said, what the hell? Let's go. Hi-yo, Silver! I ran down those halls. So Patrick and John Leslie said, people tell me, I just saw your daddy. We just saw a selfie. Which way did he go? He was riding down there real fast. Tell him to be careful. I ran all in the bushes. I ran in one of those small pools over there. I tell you, man. I was supposed to have no more gas in that thing. I wore that little thing out. I would get me one sack of fat drop out the pool. I'm going to have it juiced up.
Oh, Mr. Brown, I tell you, what are we going to do with you? But I just love what you talk about, life being unpredictable, and you can still laugh at the moments in life that happen to us and our decision around our reaction. You mentioned recording, choosing your future. That's required listening in my house, and all of us who work with you as platinum speakers, and you were able to use your voice to transform where you were and what you were feeling. And to the person that's listening, so many people call in, Les, and they're going through some things. Like, you're telling us transparently what you've gone through in the last couple of weeks, and you're still able to look for a lesson. You're still able to find humor, and Lord knows, I hope Calvin or Patrick took a picture of you on that scooter.
You know they did. They did.
I have to call my brother to get one.
Yeah, they say that I have issues. You know, here's what I want to say to somebody that's going through something, and you're talking to somebody that just got out of something that I never thought I would ever be in, and was doing a combination of two things. One, psychological pain, a broken heart, and feeling betrayed. Two, physical pain, where it is so intense you can't sleep. Last night, 3:30 in the morning, I'm tossing and turning. The pain came back. And I've been fighting taking the pain medication because my goal is I'm not going to become addicted. And I tossed and turned most of the night, and finally I broke down. And I woke up and I got half of a pain pill, like methadol, I think. I'm not sure what the name of it is. Anyhow, but this too shall pass. What I'm going through, it passed.
Absolutely.
I'm not hurting as bad as I was hurting the other day, but I just saw my grandson up and laughing. I see my granddaughter, my great-granddaughter. And I'm grateful. I got you. I called you. When you called me, I said, call me more often. I want to hear your voice. And I'm grateful for my friends, people who love me and care about me. And so it's not here to stay. It has come to pass. That is my mantra. Anything that I'm dealing with now, it has come to pass. It has not come to stay, including our lives. We're going to leave here. There's a one-way ticket here. At some point in time, we're checking out. And so that's why when I remember when I was married to Gladys Knight, and I heard Prince Sinatra say to a guy, live each day as if it were your last, because one day it will be. And so after this experience, this near-death experience, and what I've gone through, and the pain, the sciatic nerve, my goal is to laugh as often as I can, take care of my health, spend as much time with people that I love and who care about me, and do what I can to make a difference with my voice. I won't speak on the road. I won't accept speaking engagements but I will do it by phone. I'm get motivated. They use me at their rallies, and they put me on a Skype. I'll do those, but I won't. My kids, they don't think I can do it. They said he can't not speak. I said, watch. Trust me on this. You don't know homie like this. You know?
Absolutely. But you know what, Les? Taking care of your body, and like you said, you're still here. So it's not that your voice will be silenced. It will be amazing for us to see you not on the road, because we know how your international travel, your travel within the United States, your commitment to meeting and greeting everyone. And there's some new callers that have not seen you live. And if you haven't seen Les Brown live, then you don't know. He will try to shake everyone's hand, take a selfie with every single person. And that's just the heart of who you are, because you love people and you love hearing the impact that your voice has on them. So we'll have to transition to some of the virtual ways that technology has changed the world, and you're able to share your voice and share your message without having to board a plane every time. So I have to be on the side of the family on this one, Les, but we're going to get your voice out in different ways, but we will not have you on a scooter. That's for sure.
Okay.
But one last question, because I know it is Ona's birthday and you want to spend some family time. As you think about the industry of speaking, and you have shared the stages with all of the greats from Zig Ziglar, some of your dear friends, Miles Monroe, and you've seen a lot in your time. What do you think is the most important thing for those who are interested in pursuing a career as a public speaker or public figure, sharing, training, teaching, lecturing, being an author and a coach like you are? What would you give as your piece of advice, looking at the way the world has changed? Because when you started, you were on the phone calling companies. You didn't have the color brochures to send out. You had a certain sort of discipline that you created to expand opportunities for yourself. What would you say in this world of technology, and everyone is an overnight YouTube star, and they're creating platforms and doing various sorts of work with their voice? What would your advice be to those who really want to passionately change this world the way you have?
First of all, to know that they can do it. They have more tools. I started out in 1980. Facebook, Twitter, all the tools that's available now to reach millions of people around the world with a push of a button, they were not available. So now, I have a million people on my Facebook. I can communicate with them, build a community. So everybody can do that. Everybody can make a difference in the world. My son told me, I was looking at and watching him decode and resolve some problems on the computer, and he just said, Dad, patience, read everything, and with patience and persistence, you'll figure it out. And he's right. Everybody. Nobody needs to go out looking for a job. This is the time you use your imagination. And you'll figure it out. Things will come to you. And then as far as speaking is concerned, I can start today and earn an average of $1 million a month. Why? Because the first thing I did, and I want everybody who's interested in speaking, if you're serious, write his name down, Mike Williams Communication. You can find him online. Find somebody that's a good coach that you respect and that has a track record of achievement. He trained me. Were it not for Mike Williams, I would not have been exposed to this Les Brown. And so he taught me ways in order to connect with an audience, to move them and to create a shift in their lives. And so I practice these things that he taught me, and that's why I told you I want to see you. I think I'm going to get a class of 7 people, Tracy. Let me see. Yeah, 7 people that I want to work with. But the ability to communicate, to get good coaching, to have the influence to impact an audience is greater than ever before, because with all the technology that exists, we are more connected today and we're more disconnected. Absolutely. And so my son was trying to retrieve something today that he had misplaced at the hotel. And they just kept giving him the runaround from one person to the other. And I remember him saying, please don't put me on hold. Please don't pass me to somebody else. I hate to call someplace. And if you call him by this, push 1. If you call him by this, push 3. I hate that. So studies indicate people who have the ability to motivate and inspire and bring the best out of people, they will always have a secure place in the economy because there's the dimension about who you are. Your voice has an energy signature. And so that energy signature, when you speak, you have the capacity to have a 3-dimensional impact where you're impacting the mind, the heart, and the spirit. And so the opportunities are greater. The key to it is creating an experience for the audience, so that they leave your presence feeling better about themselves, but talking about you. Something you said, a story that you shared, some insight about you that made a difference in their lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that being said, I do want to let you know that people are logging on right now, commenting on your Facebook page because they're listening to you. And they're sending love, prayers, thanks, all these messages you'll be able to read when we get off. And that's the beauty of those of us who've been able to work with you, who've been able to be mentored by you and understand about creating an experience so that you can leave an impact in people's lives. So I want to just check with you, Les. It's past the hour. In about 3 minutes. Do you have time to listen to a few callers, just share a hello with you before we close down?
I would love to. I think it would be it'd be major for my healing process. It is
awesome. Well,
sometimes you don't know how things impact you.
That is the truth. And before I do open up the call, Les, I want to thank you on behalf of your team of platinum speakers, working with your children, the First Family of Motivation, understanding that we have been blessed to be able to sit at your feet to learn, for you to pour into us, for us to learn not only the skills and mechanics of speaking, but the possibilities and how we've really been able to transform lives using our voice the same way that you have. So I just want to publicly thank you for who you are, for all that you do, all that you have sacrificed and given and shared and taught and coached us through so that we can stand strong in our own power and use that energy signature to make a difference on the planet. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to
stop you for just a moment. I gave a speech years ago, one of the first speeches, the southern area of Florida. Went to the back of the theater, the guy opened the door, and I said, my name is Les Brown. He looked at me, he turned white as a sheet, and he was shocked. And he found out that I was the speaker, not the band leader, as they had put up album covers all over the school. Les Brown, the band right now. And he looked down at my shoes, which were very shiny, and he spit right at the end of my shoe. It's interesting that should come to me now. He spit. He just looked down at my shoes, and he spit. Fortunately, it did not hit my shoe, but it was right in front of my shoe. It was an insult. That's what he wanted to do, to say, you're not welcome here. They might have brought you here, but you're not welcome. And the reason I'm saying that, going through the airport, the guy stops me and starts talking to me. Said I made a difference in his life. And he started describing where he was. And then he broke down and started crying and said, I'm sorry. What I did to you. I said, what did you do to me? He said, you don't remember me, do you? And I said, no. He said, I'm the guy that stood in front of you in your shoes. And you just looked at me and you walked away. But I didn't leave the place. I stood in the back. I didn't know how they brought you there. This is a place where you go in the city. It's Wildwood. I couldn't remember. And they have little lanterns where little black figures that's holding a light out front. We're racial. figures. And he said, I never thought I would ever see you again. That was a graduation. That's the first speech. In fact, I'm going to let you hear that speech. I'm going to find it. It's called You Have the Power to Seize the Hour. And today, what a gift of forgiveness and a kindness of this guy. He didn't have to do that. Judge a man not by what he does or what he does that he doesn't have to. You judge the true quality of a person is what they do, but nobody's looking. I'm asking those of you that's on this phone to live from a place of love. God is love, and he who dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in them. And forgiveness. Forgiveness. So let me take some calls now.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put the call in Q&A mode, which means you can press *6 to have a question or a comment. We aren't going to have that much time, so please keep your questions and or comments as clear and concise as possible, and we want to make sure that our new callers get an opportunity as well.
All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Hi, Les. This is from Las Vegas.
Hello. Yes, what's your name?
Hello. Okay, one at a time. The young lady from Las Vegas.
Hi, this is Dee Dee from Las Vegas. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great now. Okay, the voice.
You know what? I don't really have a question, but I was been listening to the call, and I just want to share with you that it is definitely going to get better. I suffered severely from sciatica. It was the worst pain I'd ever had. I'm 16 years old. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I just thought I'll never be able to go to the amusement park with her. I'll never be able to walk again. It was horrible. But it does get better. It gets way better. And it's very, very short period of time, and it's a pain that lets you appreciate how great it is to have our legs and how blessed we are when we're not in that pain. So I encourage you, and I'm excited, and I know you're going to be back.
Yeah, you can walk for a period of time, too?
I couldn't walk for like 12 days. I mean, you stand on it and just shoot right up my hand. It was horrible.
Yeah, I can't walk. If I take 5 steps, the pain is just too unbearable. I'd like, if anybody's got anything, let me give you this email address. If you got anything or know anybody that has had sciatica and been able to deal with alleviating that pain, email me, or a doctor that you think that would help me, that you know that it's helped someone. What email should I give them, Stacey?
If you give them, everyone just stand by for a moment because there's a little bit of background noise.
All callers are muted.
I will open back up again, but if you have information regarding sciatica or any sort of healing, doctors, information that you can share with Les.
Anything that can alleviate pain. Anything that can help me walk. Now, let me say, though, I spoke in Vegas. I gave my last speech for a company called Zengo. I told my kids, if this is going to be my last speech, I'm going to tear it up. And let the record show. I tore it up. I was moving around and jumping around in that wheelchair. I said, anybody but Zengo. Well, let me tell you something. I said, you think a little sciatica is going to stop me? I could take y'all out with one hand behind my back. I was feeling good. That pain medicine was working. It was.
So, Les, they can shoot an email over to me, and I will make sure that Calvin and Ona get it for you. That'd probably be the easiest thing. So,
anything that can help me to walk or to alleviate the pain of sciatica. I think I have it's in the 4th and 5th vertebrae. I think that's protruding, but I appreciate it. You know, my phone is about to go out.
The phone's about to die. Okay.
Everybody needs a friend. You're a very good friend. I want to thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much for being my friend, because if it weren't for you, this call would not still be going. And I'm coming back, Stacey. I'm coming back. I'm going to fill this time, this year with exercise and prayer and meditation. I don't believe that God is through with me yet. Age is nothing but a number. And I don't look 72. I look real good because I use mascara to cover my face. And I have no shame.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
I've been here. So I'm happy. I'm a happy camper that I'm alive. I'm still here. And this too shall pass. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Love you. And I'll talk to you later.
Love you
go
more.
rest up. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you the email. You're welcome. I'll give you the email address where you can send the information for Mr. Brown, as well as I will open back up the call if you want to just share a word of thought, commentary, and I will play it for Mr. Brown so he will hear it, but he had to get off the line in order to charge his phone and get some rest and enjoy his daughter's birthday. So we are just excited that he was able to be on the line with us. If you want to send information, you can send that to info. That's info at destinydesignersuniversity.com. I'll spell that for you. DESTINY designers, DESIGNERS, university.com. I know it's a little long, but trust me, if you send that information over, I will forward it right to the team so that he can sit back, read them, find out information, because as he said, he's not really going far. He's just getting some rest. You will hear his voice and using technology so he doesn't have to go up and down on the plane and can really rest and recuperate. And thank you so much to the last caller who is a witness to the fact that that sciatica nerve, it is painful, but you get better and it gets better in their treatments for that. So we really appreciate you. Now, when I open back up the call, remember, if there's a lot of background noise, you won't be able to hear it. But I do want to honor those of you that had a word that you wanted to share with Mr. Brown and then be able to play that for him so that he will hear the recording. So stand by for me one moment. When I do open it up, I just ask that once you speak, if you can mute your phone back so that we don't have additional background noise. That would be appreciated.
All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Hey, Stacey.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I can
Stacey,
hear you.
this is real quick.
Yes.
I'm going to call you because I know I have something that will help Les. So anticipate my call. This is Myron, okay?
Awesome, Myron. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, dear. Okay.
All right, and yes, the young lady that was next.
Hi, Dr. Stacy. Good evening.
Good evening. Wait a minute.
Is
that my
from
Tiffany?
Maryland?
Yes. Hi, Tiffany. Great to hear your voice, love.
Same here. First, I want to tell Mr. Les Brown I understand. I do have some information for him that I'm currently looking into myself and been doing a lot of research because I know what it's like to have and live with excruciating pain and to have your children have to help you in and out of the shower or to go to the bathroom and not be able to do things on your own. So I understand, and I want to tell him that I love him. I'm so grateful for him. He doesn't even know what he helped me come through just by listening to him on a daily basis. So my prayers are with him and his family, and I'll email you the information and everything that I've been doing so far. Been helping me, deal with the multiple sclerosis. Well, my new name for it, multiple situations. So, I Dr. Stacy, I miss you. I'm so grateful for you. And the ground, we're going to get through this. We just absolutely be all right. Thank you.
Absolutely. You were breaking up a little bit at the end, but I love you. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much for sharing that information. And, I don't know if everyone heard, but you live with multiple sclerosis every day that you fight, and you are an encouragement. I will make sure he knows what you have shared and your story. So thank you so much, Tiffany.
All right. Thank you. Love you.
Love you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Stacey, this is Denzor.
Hi, Denzor. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, first, I'd like to say thank you for continuing to carry on the torch for Les for. I think he really means it, and I believe it that, if it weren't for you, we would not be connected with him even at this moment in his life. So I appreciate you. greatly.
Thank you.
And second, I'd like to just say, to Les that, he's inspired not only my life, but I think everyone that's on this call, if he's touched your life in any way, the only thing I can say is just that when you get off this call, just pray. And I think that that Les is a very spiritual man. So just get in prayer, and, I believe that he will be healed. And my only word for Les is to say that, the things that he's gone through in his life, just tell him to just trust in God and have patience. And patience will work its perfect course in his life. So that's all I have to say, Stacey. So thank you very much.
Oh, amen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my friend, and thank you for sharing those words and for being here.
Hello, Stacey. This is Sherry from Oklahoma.
Hi, Sherry. Yes, our first-time caller. How did you enjoy hearing Mr. Brown live?
Oh, my gosh. If I can get this out without crying. He's so amazing. This is Sherry Myers, and I'm with a company called Genesis Pure, and that is how I got into this whole thing of Les Brown and Tony Robbins, Eric Worre, everybody. And he's inspired me so much. He's so different. His story, his testimony, everything. And I not unlike the other callers, would love to start a prayer for him and everything. But with Genesis Pure, it has taught me to eat in a way that helps your body to get the nutrition to heal itself. So if he could look into Genesis Pure and all that entails, it does it. It has Dr. Buckner and some different people that can really possibly help him to get healthy again and not be hurting and not be in pain, because like he said, I think God still has a plan for him. I'm moving from Oklahoma out to Las Vegas, and I have that friend, Marquis Taylor, that was looking to go see him speak in Ohio, but I guess he may not be able to under the circumstances. But
yeah, he will be doing it via, the rest of the engagements will be via Skype and using technology. So he'll still be participating,
okay.
But yeah, with the sciatica, he needs to just rest and, as his children said, regenerate, so that we can't stop him for long from being on the road. And clearly, we surely can't stop his voice, but we can manage his travel and, accessibility so that he can just take care of himself.
Absolutely, and all these things that he said, the thing that I learned about everything that I've been learning with this company and the whole, thing that he's into is my biggest fear, and I'm trying to face all my fears, is getting up on stage and speaking. And here he said that, he doesn't want to live without doing that, and that inspires me right now, saying that live while you can live, because you won't always have that opportunity, or he said it a lot more eloquently, but that I'm going to face my fear on that and get up on stage and everything, and he will be in our prayers, and we love him. There's so many people out there that he's changed so many millions of lives, and I believe he has many, many more to change, and we will be praying for him, okay?
Thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing your story of you being on stage. So thank you, Sherry, for joining. Please join back again. And I hear someone else trying to come through. There's a little background noise. Yes.
Destiny from Miami.
Destiny from Miami. Go right ahead.
Hi, this is Destiny. I just wanted to say to Mr. Les Brown, I've called before. I have a disability myself, and I'm also a speaker in Miami. It is my dream to be on stage on behalf of the speaker that he is. And I want to encourage you, Les, that you motivate so many of us of all different abilities. My very first time in a studio taking speaking lessons was after watching a motivational video of yours that motivated me to continue, and to this day I continue to do so. And it doesn't, no matter how you have to get around a wheelchair, a cane, it is what it is. I use a cane for mobility, and nothing can stop us. With the strength and the mentality that we have as individuals, the strength as speakers, the fact that somebody's not giving up because you're not giving up, and because of your strength, don't give up because we're not giving up because you're not giving up. And he mentioned something very important, that he knew somebody was going through adversity, and I can totally relate. It's a hard time right now, and he put me into tears. But just a perfect example that you gave me the strength tonight to say, shake it off and keep going. And sometimes because we have a disability, or because we have to do things differently, live differently, and get different services. Right now, the government wants to take everything away from me, and it's a necessity of the health insurance. But I know that this too shall pass, like you said, and I'm going to continue to listen to you, Les, every single day, and get motivated to motivate others, because, like I said, because you're not giving up, I'm not giving up, and because I'm not giving up, somebody else out there in my same situation or similar situations not giving up. So thank you for that and for the encouragement.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. He's appreciating all of these. I'm going to have to end in a few minutes, but I want to get as many of you as possible sharing your words so that he can listen. Thank you for that, and we look forward to having you back on. Go right ahead, sir.
This is Jorge Avalos. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jorge. Go right ahead.
Hi. I'm actually from Fresno, California. I am 20 years old, and I first heard of Les Brown when I was 18. And at that time, I was this very horrible person. And some things happened in my life that opened up my eyes of my actions. And I wanted to change. And one of my mentors, she was like, look at Les Brown. And so I looked at Les Brown's very first video called Getting Unstuck. And after I watched that video, I cried my eyes out because this man was saying I could change. And ever since then, I just played the videos over and over, and I've been listening to him forever. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you because of his speaking, I was able to make a huge impact on my life and the people around me. And it's just amazing that other people around me have also seen the change. And I just wanted to give a huge thank you also to you for putting on these calls. I've been a listener since January, so I just wanted to give you a huge thank you, and that you guys are changing lives, even this little kid's life.
Wow, Jorge. That is an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you don't know how many lives you're touching because of your transformation and your living example that anybody at any time can just make that decision to get unstuck and live their greatness. That's what Les talks about all the time. So thank you, Jorge, for sharing that and for being a part of our family.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I can take about one more. I have to get ready for another call that we do. So if you are waiting, just press *6. Go right ahead, sweetheart.
Hi, Bree from Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, there are two callers, Memphis, Tennessee, and there's another young lady from Memphis, Tennessee. You go ahead first. Yes, hello?
I just wanted to say, this is Memphis, Tennessee. This is Bree from Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. Stacy, how are you doing?
Hi, Bree. I am great. Great to hear your voice, and so glad you can be on.
I am just going to say that Les has changed my life in so many ways. He has helped me to lose weight, to gain some confidence, to encourage others, to move forward, to stand up for people on the job. I watch the videos over and over. I reprogram my mind to do the right things, to tell myself, you can do this. You are worth it. And I've been in some sticky situations, but I always say to myself, my friends make fun of me because they're like, who is this Les Brown? I'm like, girl, I can do this because Les Brown said so-and-so. No, I ain't trying to do that because Les Brown said, and I just wanted to share that my daughter is 12. I have had her listening to him since she was 9 years old, and she recently made cheer captain, and she said to me, Les would be proud, huh? It's just so strange that he's like an uncle to us, but I appreciate his transparency, even in his dark moments, even in his painful moments. He's able to laugh and to let us know that, hey, I am human, but you can. You don't have to stop. Don't quit. Don't wallow. If you get knocked down, look up so you can get up. And I was wishing I could tell him, you play this part for him, Stacy. You tell him I said I am doing better than good, better than most, and sometimes better than that.
Absolutely, Bree. I sure will. Thank you. And tell your daughter that Uncle Les is proud. He loves to hear those stories, and I appreciate you sharing it. All right. And we have one more caller. You're welcome.
Yes.
And I'm trying to hold on before I have to do another training for Mr. Brown, but go right ahead. There's one more caller.
This is Beth from Atlanta, Georgia. And I just wanted to say this is my first time on the call. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just want to say to Mr. Les Brown, I'm so appreciative of the gift that God has blessed you with and how it is blessing others. And I hope one day that I will stand on the same platform to be of the use to the people, of a service to people as you have. I enjoyed seeing you here in Atlanta when you came down for the Damon Johns Housing Expo with Susie Orman, but you were the highlight of the evening for me. So I wish you a speedy recovery, and I thank you all for this call. I will be tuning in every week.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and for joining our Motivational Monday Night family. And I heard one more person also trying to get through before we close down the call.
Greetings and love. My name is Zinquarian, and I'm so grateful to be here to be able to catch the call this evening. I wanted to take some time to say thank you so much to beloved brother Les Brown for all the work that he has done, all of the positive vibrations he has put into the minds and the hearts of the people. And I want to let Les Brown know, if he's listening right now, as he always tells us, it's not over until you win. I also want to share some information that there is an African holistic health doctor by the name of Dr. Sabi, who talks about nutrition and how to be able to feed the body in such a way that helps it to be able to heal itself. If anyone can get that information to him as far as this doctor, maybe he also can look into the information for himself. But I just feel so blessed, and I'm so happy that we all have had the chance to be able to talk this evening and to be able to share in a powerful vibration, to send that love and that energy to Les Brown, because he has also changed my life and has helped me to reactivate within myself the speaker that was dormant. And so I just send blessings of peace, love, light, infinite energy, strength, continuous wisdom. We are on this continuous journey, and like I said, it's not over until he wins, until we all win.
Awesome.
And we are all together. So much love and light to each and every last one of you on the call, and just many blessings, continuous blessings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And with that, everyone,
All callers are muted.
I'm going to have to, unfortunately, close out our call. We're a little over time, and I do have another commitment on our Les Brown team that starts in about 5 minutes. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being present, for taking time out of your Monday night for this call. Les Brown appreciates each and every one of your voices, your participation. I always share with him what happens on the calls and those who have shared such wonderful stories as you've done tonight. And it is the joy of his life to share his voice and to know that it is making an impact and you are seeing transformational results because of how many decades he has spent giving of himself and pouring into each and every one of you. So please stay connected with us. You can visit lesbrown.com for more information on what we will be doing in the interim as he takes a break from the road, but we'll still be using technology to teach, share, and train, because we can't keep Mr. Brown still. But all of you that have sent your prayers and your love, it's appreciated. Sciatica won't hold him down. Like you said, it's not over until he wins. And it's my pleasure and my privilege to be your host. This is Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant signing off. And all of you that want to send emails or information, just email info@destinydesignersuniversity.com, and we'll make sure that we get those messages to Mr. Brown. Have an awesome day, but even a better life. Bye-bye for now.